Welcome back, class. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is part 3 of week 5. Again, thank you for those who are volunteering, to do some of these activities each week. Really appreciate it. Again, these are not required. Just one of those things I want to continue your education in some format. But again, they take a long distance second place to your health, your family's health. Again, take care of each other. That's kind of first priority. And then, if you have some time and you're bored and you want to continue your education, this is hopefully the format. Let's jump right into the iPad here, and hopefully we can talk about our topics today. All right, so what you're looking at here is, our topic today is talk about the Google form answers. So the Google form is the thing I submitted out on Monday. That's kind of your activity for the week. We were balancing checkbooks. That's kind of the problems that we've been working on. The definitions were, balancing a checkbook is finding what's the remaining amount in the account that's left after you put in your deposits. It's the money you're adding to the account, and then the withdrawals are the money that you're removing from the account or taking it out or spending. Again, I give you some different topics of why this is used on Wednesday when I did the Khan Academy activities, where I try to give you more realistic, like, why would people do this for a business. So hopefully that makes sense why we're doing this. It's kind of a broad topic. But let's jump right in and let's kind of talk about it. We have 3 problems on the Google form, and let's kind of go through it. Okay, so what you're looking at here, sorry, it's a little blurry. You're looking at some checkbook where they're writing checks. They have a certain balance here. So we have $520.25 here for the balance. It's balance forwarded from the last month, so it's carried over. We're going to the shoe store, and it looks like we're taking out a bunch of things here. So we have a debit, we have a withdrawal, and ATM deposits and whatnot. So there's certain things like we're writing checks for. At the top, it really doesn't show what we're doing here. We have certain things that we're depositing, like a check. We're depositing certain money into the account. Maybe there's somebody is adding money to your account. So really these topics at the top didn't really count. It's just like a credit versus a debit card kind of an idea. But let's kind of go through the actual numbers here, and then I'll bring up my calculator and we'll kind of talk about the numbers here. So shoe store, we're writing a check, so that number's coming off. We're actually like using a debit card and making a purchase. We're making a withdrawal of $50 from the ATM. We're depositing money from the ATM. You can do that. You can actually deposit money directly at an ATM into your account, and it will show up instantly. Something you should definitely look at if you ever have to get paid in cash or whatnot. A grocery store, we're subtracting $110.59. We're getting a paycheck, so we're adding money back in. Maybe it's automatic. It's done automatically. Rent. We're paying rent. We're paying a car payment. We're making a payment to the electric company. These are just normal things you probably have to do. We're depositing money again into our account. Maybe you have a roommate that gave you some money for the electric account. Cell phone company, we're paying $127. That's pretty normal for a cell phone company around here. Verizon. A single person can pay $127 with if you had a certain cell phone you're buying, the minutes, the data. That's pretty regular. It's a lot, but that's a normal amount. And then we're depositing another paycheck into the account. And then we're making a credit card payment. Maybe you have a credit card. So these are all the numbers. So we're adding and subtracting. I'm going to bring up the calculator here in a minute. But again, if maybe you're doing this by hand on paper, that's great. We're subtracting each of these numbers. Now I'm going to start with the 520. And then I'm going to start adding and subtracting. So you're going to see my calculator here in a minute. So I'm going to transition right into it. All right, so here's the calculator in front of you. We're going to start with the $520.25. Okay, so that's the number we're starting with. Now, as I go down, I'm going to go to the shoe store, then the ATM withdrawal, and I'm just going through the numbers as you see them on the screen. And I'll try to pinpoint, and I'm going to use my little, and I'll try to mark it on my screen so you can actually see like which number I'm doing first. But again, we're starting at the top. We're right here. This is step 1, and we're going to go down the list. So I'm going to subtract. So let's subtract. Let's subtract $89.99. Okay, so we're subtracting that. We're going to subtract $50. We're subtracting the 50. Now we're going to add the 160. We're going to subtract the 110.59, we're going to add our check, our direct deposit check. Oop, I better clear that. I typed it in wrong. $452.17. We're going to subtract the rent, which is $450. We're going to subtract the $325.15 for the car payment. We're going to subtract the $62.38, $62.38 for the electric company. We're going to add the $65 for maybe a roommate paying you. We're going to subtract the $127.16 for the cell phone. We're going to add my check for the month back in, and then we're going to finally make a credit card payment of $85. And it looks like my total that we're getting in the very end is $349.32. This is the final amount that would be carried over to the next month. Now, here's something I want you to think about. This is like, I know I didn't write down each balance as I went. That's a good thing to do in a checkbook. Making sure maybe I made a mistake and go back and check. If I did, let me know by email or let me know. But here's the idea. This is the concept I want you to think about. All right, so let me clear out my. I think I got that written down quickly. Okay, so let me discuss here. I want you to think about this. We started the month with $520. We got a couple paychecks throughout the weeks. We made a couple purchases. But here's the thing I want you to think about. We ended up with less money than we did last month. We're going down in money. So this is something you need to think about. If you're going to continue this spending, right, you're going to continue to buy shoes, buy a lot of groceries, to make the same rent, the same car payment, the same electric bill. These are pretty standard things. You're losing money quickly. The difference between last month to this month is what? About $100 or so, a little $100 and something that we kind of lost. In fact, we could type that in a calculator here in a second. But that's something you need to think about. Like, you're getting stretched very, very thin. Maybe not buying shoes and not buying, maybe taking out cash for the ATM withdrawal would have been a smart decision. Maybe it wasn't necessary to buy new shoes. But everything else seemed pretty normal, right? Grocery store, rent, car payment, electric, like cell phone, like things you can't really avoid. That's month-to-month payments. You don't have a choice. You can't negotiate that stuff. So we're losing money. The credit card really hurt us. The $85 for the credit card. Maybe you shouldn't put stuff on credit cards. Just think about that. That's something that if you kind of want to have this idea of like, you want your next month to be higher in balance than your previous month, so you're gaining money as you go. That's a good thing. We're losing money. So think about that when we go to like a realistic problem. Okay, let's go right to the next problem here. All right, so this is significantly an easier problem. So what we have here is we have a cell phone bill first. So that'll be coming off the top, so we'll be subtracting that. A direct deposit, we're going to be depositing money into account. Maybe we got paid. We're making a mortgage payment of $500. We're paying lunch at the deli, so $3.50, pretty cheap. We're making a cash withdrawal from the ATM and plus a fee. It's pretty normal. And then we're buying groceries. So it looks like there's a lot of expenditures, a lot of withdrawals, but we're not depositing a lot. We did start with a pretty big chunk of change here. We did start with $437. Again, this is all pretty nice and typed out. This is maybe something that maybe your bank statement would be sent in the mail, so you're kind of checking their numbers to see if their numbers matched up. Again, I'm going to transition right to the calculator here, and so hopefully it makes sense out. Okay, so you're looking at my calculator here. Let me click on it so we can get this thing going. All right, so we're going to start with the $437.50. And now I'm going to start going down through the list, as you can see here, and I'm going to go through each step, and you're going to see me as I go through them, and then we're going to end up with a certain amount of money. Okay? So hopefully this makes sense as I go through and I don't mess up anything. So we're starting with $437.50. That was the forwarded balances from last month. Let's subtract my first $45 payment. Let's add my $1,000 paycheck. We're going to subtract my $500 mortgage. That's the house payment. We're going to subtract the $3.50 for the deli. We're going to subtract the $22 for the cash withdrawal. And we're going to subtract the $65 for groceries. And what we're left with is $802. Whoa, wrote that wrong. 802. 802.00. That's the money that we're left with. So, here's what I want you to think about. Okay, maybe this was a realistic problem for you. Maybe you don't have a car payment. Maybe you didn't have a cell phone payment. I didn't have any electricity or anything like that. I did have a cell phone bill on this one. It was a relatively cheap one, but you don't have like a big one, like a single account. Maybe you're just paying like a portion of your account. But we're definitely adding money to my account fast, right? I started with, from last month, 400. Now I'm up to 802. That's moving the right direction. That's something you should always think about from month to month. I want to gain a little bit of money in my account every month, and then maybe at some point you can start to move a little bit to savings, so you can start to forget about it, like a little rainy day fund. In case of like situations we're in now, like it would be nice to have a pretty big savings account that you can rely on to help you out through this tough time. But not everyone has that, so that's something you got to think about when you start to budget your monthly expenditures and your spending habits. Maybe you don't want to visit Amazon a lot. Maybe you want to like block that website for a while so you don't have to go spending. But maybe you need that. Maybe that's how you buy cheaper groceries. But again, think about this as you go through like a real life situation. All right, let's jump right in and let's go to the next problem. This is my last problem that was on the Google form. All right, so here's what we have. We have a lot on this one. So we had an account that was previously this looks very similar to that first problem. Did I accidentally copy the wrong problem? It's very similar to the first problem. I guess there is subtle differences. And just, oh, weird, I gave you the same numbers. I must not have realized I gave you the same numbers. I thought I had it typed up differently. Oh, that's sad. Oh, we already did this problem. This was the one where we ended up with less money. But again, I'll go through it one more time. I know that seems silly, but I'm going to do it. So we're starting with this amount of money. We're making withdrawals. We're adding in deposits, making a payment, getting a paycheck, making payments, adding deposits, subtracting that, adding this, subtracting that. Kind of going through the numbers here. I'm going to transfer. Let's clear this out again. This is the same problem. I didn't realize I had the same numbers. I must have typed it wrong, or maybe I picked the wrong one for my folder. I thought I had the right problems picked out. But we'll jump right in. So what we have here, if I click on my calculator here, we have $520.25. Whoa, I typed that massively wrong. 520.25. Weird. 520.25. Okay, sorry. Must have typed it wrong a couple times. Okay, we're going to make my $89.99 payment. We're going to make another $50 withdrawal. We're going to add $160 from maybe a paycheck or maybe a rent. We're going to make a $110.59 payment. We're going to add my paycheck for the month. We're going to subtract my rent. We're going to subtract the car payment. We're going to subtract the electric company. We're going to add my ATM deposit. We're going to subtract a 127.16. We're going to add my paycheck again. And then we're going to subtract my last payment. And yes, we're ending up with $322.32. So again, hopefully, if maybe I didn't make any mistakes here, we went through each list, itemized list, and we added and subtracted. Hopefully I didn't type that in wrong. Let me know by email if you saw that I definitely typed in something wrong. But we definitely ended up with significantly less money than we did previously. So think about that. This is something that, a realistic problem. I'm going down. My account is shrinking. I need to, minimize my expenditures. Obviously, I couldn't help with the grocery store. I couldn't help with, maybe the rent or the electric company or cell phone. Maybe I can't adjust those, but think about this. I want my account to grow, and this one is definitely not. So again, let's clear that all out. Again, thank you for all of those who are kind of voluntarily doing some of these activities each week. Apologize. Hopefully I just had the wrong picture picked on this one. I thought I had different problems picked out for this Google form. But again, I'm going to continue the same format the next couple weeks here. But again, take care of each other. That's kind of the first priority. Take care of your health and safety first, and then if you have time, you can work on some of these activities. But again, I miss you guys, and take care.